Here are the top 3 things that I saw in the Big 12 this weekend. Your team might be included if you won. If your name is Baylor or Texas Tech, I'm very sorry. This one is not for you, but you can stick around and hear what everybody else in the conference seemed to have done so well. Honorable mention, Oklahoma State comeback. That's it. Did I love the Oklahoma State offense? No. Did I love Alan Bowman? Absolutely not. So frustrating to watch him play football this weekend. Did I love the defense? I couldn't have hated it more. You let some running back that Arkansas has at quarterback, an imposter syndrome, throwing for 416 yards. You let that running back rush for 150 and 3 touchdowns. And some wide receiver catch 164 yards on 10 receptions. That's bad, Oklahoma State. Well, you came back and you won. Honorable mention, because you won. You were gutsy against an SEC opponent, a talented Arkansas team that is probably underrated. You won. Number 3 on my favorite things that I saw this week. You got to get out of here. My new favorite Big 12 player's name is Cam Skattebo. This kid was electric last week. Now, I didn't know a ton about him last season. Apparently, I've talked to folks who mentioned, oh, wow, he was a great dual threat, could receive, he could run. He had a great game against USC. And the year before, he had 1,300 yards rushing and had 370-ish yards in the receiving game and 10 touchdowns. And cool, right? This year, last night, oh, my. We have played 2 football games, folks. 2 football games. 44 carries. 311 yards. This kid last night, 8 yards per rush, 262 yards, 33 rushing attempts. Said, oh, wait, we need to win here. This is my back. I'm going to take all of you that are on my team and place you upon it. 262 yards. He also didn't get in the end zone. There comes a point for me where, and this is not me being crazy, this is just me watching a lot of football, which is my job to do, where if you didn't score a touchdown, but you had 160 yards or 260 yards rushing, that's like doubly impressive. That's we get the ball to the 4-yard line. Coach didn't give it to me. We threw it for a touchdown. I got us to the 4-yard line. You can't argue with 260 yards rushing. The second greatest game for my running back in Arizona State history. That's absurd. And the rest of the conference sees that and goes, oops, Cameron Skattebo is good, and he's going to be a legitimate problem for all of us moving forward. Will he be able to single-handedly beat, because Levitt didn't have a good game, will he be able to single-handedly beat Texas State? I don't know. I still don't know how that game's going to go, because Texas State is very good and flashed out against UTSA. But the third best thing I saw this week, Cam Skattebo in a win against an SEC team was great. Hey, Iowa State, you're coming up. Number 2, Kansas State at Tulane. Watching this game was frustrating. I told you this on the show yesterday, and I want to emphasize this again. Stop asking Avery Johnson to win the Heisman. Stop, dude. These kids are on Twitter. These kids are reading the articles. These kids are in tune with the viral TikTok that breaks them down. They're searching their name constantly. What you as a Kansas State fan can do to further Avery Johnson is just not put that pressure on him. Is he a very good quarterback? Yes. Is he elite yet? No. Can he be? Have we seen flashes? For sure. He's not there yet. Can you just give him a gap, a breather, a breath? The kid's a true sophomore. He was 15 for 23, 181 yards and 2 touchdowns, and I didn't think he had an elite performance. Did he go win you the game? Yes. Was he elite? No, and that's okay. Stop asking him to win the Heisman this year. Stop putting it on him that, we have Avery Johnson, so we're going to win the Big 12. That's not how that's going to work for Kansas State, and that's okay. You are still the second best thing I saw this week because DJ Giddens, who didn't get in the end zone, 114 yards. 63 yards receiving was absurd. To Austin Romaine, VJ Payne, Jordan Riley, Austin Moore, defensively, that were good. Like, Austin Romaine is insane. One of the scariest defenders and the defense for Kansas State overall. 5 sacks, VJ Payne and Austin Romaine. It rhymes. And they are so good at the football thing and make this defense spectacular. Kansas State is a Big 12 title contender, no doubt. And then you went on the road and beat an SMU. Sorry, that was BYU. Beat a Tulane team, who was also honorable mention, BYU. Thank you. Beat a Tulane team that I think a lot of us underrated. I didn't know that this AAC team was going to be as good as they've been in years past without their head coach, who's now in Houston, and Willie Fritz. They were much better than expected. And where I saw it specifically was the line of scrimmage. Offensive line, defensive line, they were very good. And Kansas State said, we don't care. We're going to sack you 5 times and give up 0 sacks. That was intensely good. Then we're going to go to the fourth quarter trailing, tied. We're going to go into the second half trailing this game 20-10 and find a way to outscore you 24-7 and go win it. No overtime, gutsy plays at the end defensively. A very clear pass interference. Like your defense gave up 342 yards passing at the Mensa kid, 128 yards rushing. Those aren't good. I still thought what made Kansas State's defense elite at times were the big plays, the big playmakers, and the ability to get the stop when it mattered most. That's where the elite word comes in for me. And that's where Kansas State's defense can step into the Big 12 and create ultimate havoc. The number one thing I saw this week in Big 12, Iowa State. Oh my gosh. You had 0 points at halftime. We asked you to go out there and score 20 in one half against an extremely good Iowa defense in Kinnick Stadium. Rocco Becht. That first half, I was like, okay, that's it. Well, there goes Rocco Becht. Thought he was going to be good. Jalen Knoll, it makes me so happy to know that Rocco Becht is still a great college quarterback. Young, yeah. Does he have it? Also, yeah. Busama hasn't had it yet. Hasn't been that guy yet that I think, wow, in the conversation with Cam Skattebo, Ollie Gordon, RJ Harvey, Taj Brooks. But luckily, Jalen Knoll is there. Jaden Higgins was there, was a guy that when you needed him could come up with it. Rocco Becht, end of the game, the guy when you needed it. Intimidating opposing atmosphere. I'm going to go win us the football game. That's who I want on my sidelines. That's who I want in my conference. The best thing I saw this week, a rivalry win. I've been in Des Moines. I'm in a hotel room in Des Moines right now. Met so many Iowa State fans this week that were just happy. Just joy on their faces. Now, don't do the damn thing that when you open conference play, you start losing random games. Please. That would stink. Seen it before, Matt Campbell, looking at you. Coming up, Washington State and Oregon State. Fine. This, Locked On Big 12, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's show is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Look, I had a long weekend. I watched a whole lot of football on Saturday, but it is still my job. And that's not always the easiest thing to do, especially when you got some banana ball going on down here in Des Moines. So what did I do? I took like 17 5 Hour Energies. 5 Hour Energy can fix tired fast. Before your workout, after your workout, watching sports, grab a 5 Hour Energy shot to stay alert. 5 Hour Energy shots give you the feeling of alertness and energy you need to get in the zone. Right now, 5 Hour Energy is the brand hardworking people like you have trusted for over 20 years. You know where to find 5 Hour Energy shots right at the cash register at nearly every convenience, drug, and grocery store nationwide. Stock up on money-saving multi-packs to make sure you never run out of delicious, energizing 5 Hour Energy shots. If you go to 5hourenergy.com, number 5, hourenergy.com, get some 5 Hour Energy product today. Use promo code LOCKEDONCFB to receive 20% off your order. Offers valid till September 30th on one order. Cannot be used with other promotions. Code is not good on subscription orders. Go to 5 Hour Energy, the number 5hourenergy.com. Do it today.